Hello ladies, my name is Lisa Dobry and I am a mixed media artist up in the Chicagoland area. And I've been speaking with Miss Ulrich about bringing a couple of art projects to you. And as I'm up in Chicago and you all are down in Texas, I thought this could be a little tricky because you guys may not have a lot of experience with some of the mediums that I work with and even with this project as a whole. So I thought what I would do, along with sending some written instructions, I thought that I would do some little short video clips so that you can use these to facilitate the process. And it'll give you a little bit more time, more personal time with me, even though I'm not sitting right there in the room with you. So what I'm telling you is with this is kind of impromptu. I am down here in my art studio. This is where I come down and I create art. I am not experienced in video editing, and so the video clips that I'm going to be doing for you are not going to be edited. They're not going to be real professional and well put together videos. Think bootleg. You know, these are just live and off the cuff. So here we go. The first project that I'm going to introduce you to is called a junk journal. And I recently did this project for a group of teens, middle school kids up here in my area. It was kind of cool. They were really excited about it. I learned a lot from doing it with them. And one of the real things that I caught early on is that I think we don't always give ourselves credit for our own sense of creativity. You know, we get very stuck in, am I getting this right? Am I doing it right? Is it good? Is it, you know, supposed to be like this? And what I can tell you about this project, all of it's great. All of it is absolutely perfect. This is not going to be a process that's going to be very precise. It's really going to be a very loose and flowing, you know, just pick it up, stick it in there and see if it speaks to you. It's not going to be one where you're going to have to sit there and, you know, spend a lot of time getting things exact because we're going to be working with junk mail. And if we don't like it, you know what? You just cover it up. That's as simple as it is. It's a really cool project. I'm going to show you a couple of samples that I have. One of them is mine, and it's not finished yet. I started it with these guys as a sample, and then I continued to work in it. So to give you an idea on the length of this project, when I worked with these guys local, we had 5 1.5-hour sessions. So it's not going to be a quick project. It's not going to be something you're going to sit down and finish in, you know, one setting. I've been actually working on mine for weeks and months, and mine tends to be a little bit more elaborate because I like to do a lot more painting and stenciling kind of stuff. So probably, you know, as you're starting to look at timing on some of this, you know, figure you're probably going to want, you know, 5-6 sessions, 1.5 hours. If you can sit for longer than 1.5 hours, that's awesome. Because one of the things that we found is that by the time you'd sit down, get set up, and then start really getting into the flow of your creativity, that session was over and everybody had to leave. So, you know, do with what you got with your timing, but that's just to give you some ideas. Junk journal. So we literally put out a call to all my neighbors, the teachers, gymnastics moms, for my daughter, and I said, oh my gosh, start collecting me your junk mail. And that's what I would advise you guys to do as well. Start looking at packaging, like when you buy something new, if there's an insert, like little instruction booklets. If you go out somewhere and there's a folded brochure, nab those. They're fabulous. So in this little box, if you got anyone who orders a dog or cat food from Chewy.com, they send cases with these cardboard covers over the cases. These are fabulous art trays. They keep all these papers together. So I've got a bunch of these. So junk mail, literally, start collecting it. And what you really are going to find is that junk mail is really kind of cool. It comes in all different kinds of shapes and sizes. They fold. Sometimes they have little attachments inside. Don't throw those away. Those are fabulous. You're going to want those. You don't want like newspaper and real thin. Like this one's pretty thin. I don't know if you can tell, but this is super thin paper. That one's not too bad because it's small, but you don't want to do the newspaper. Some of these, look at this one. This one's very cool, but I will tell you that this is a very, very large fold out. And this would be pretty, pretty large. You'd have to be using a lot of time. So if you got something this big that you really liked, you might want to cut it in half and just work with it on that size. Let's see, what else we got in here? Look at this one. Look how fabulous this one is. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Here's one. This is a Brown's Chicken advertisement, and it's still all stuck together. Again, this one is a little on the large size, but we could cut it smaller. Okay, and we'll get into that a little bit more in another video. I'm just trying to give you guys, you know, some generalities of what we're, you know, trying to collect. I didn't realize how fabulous junk mail was until I had started this project, and then every time I would see something, I'd get excited. Okay, so you got the idea. Start collecting junk mail. Okay, what do we do with this? So I'll be doing like another video on actual construction of this, but just to give you some basic ideas, these are all those loose pieces are going to be folded and then put together as a book. So these little, see how this is like a fold out? That's actually just a couple of those brochures. Okay. Now this particular one that I'm holding was actually sewn together with a sewing machine. We're going to be hand stitching ours, but basically it's the same exact thing in theory. Okay. So that is just a rough one that really hasn't had anything done with it. Junk journal samples. This is one of my girlfriends. She had assisted me in that class, and on hers we put a tie on it. And she used a lot of painted papers. I'm going to be sending you guys some really cool stuff. So beyond, you know, just the paints and the magazines that you might be starting to collect, I'm going to be sending you some really cool painted papers that you can use in your journals. So take a look at that. So hers folds open. Now hers is not finished yet either. She's still working on hers, but it's got a lot of really cool stuff in it. Can you see that? We're going to be doing little things like this by adding little pockets and little flips. See this one here? If you look right here, you can tell this piece right here came from a piece of packaging. You can tell it's one of those little hanging holes. Let's see if I can hold that where you can see it. So when you undo packages, take a look at those pieces of cardboard, because those make great pieces. If you notice in here, this is a pocket. Yeah, that's another cool thing. We're going to be making some pockets. Okay? So if you look at this, these pages, what is so cool about this is they're all irregular. None of these pages are just standard sizes. Everything just kind of gets put in here. See that? Isn't that cool? And then as it closes back up, you'll see pieces sticking out as well. Okay? So that is hers. Like I said, she uses a lot of painted papers. Me, I use a lot of paint and stencils. That's just what I love to work with. I do have some papers in here, but this is mine. That's the cover. Let's see if I'm holding it up right. Mine pulls out this way. And then this over here is a little piece that flips over. And then I made a pocket, and there's a tag. I wrote some things on it, a nice little quote that I like, decorated the back side. put it back in there. And then this flips over. Got a good angle here. I've got some journal prompting over here on the side. And you'll see on here, I've got some things that aren't actually even adhered yet. I use paper clips to clip the different pieces in. So as I'm working, I've got some ideas that I'm bringing in, but I haven't quite made some decisions as to whether or not I'm going to keep all those things. So they're just paper clipped on there for now. Okay. It's kind of cool because you'll notice the pages are all a little bit different. And this flips open. And then this page over here. All just clipped together because I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing. And then this flips over. And then this opens. So again, that's just a trifold brochure that you're seeing here on the back. And then it goes back together. And then you're back to your front cover. Isn't that cool? So that's what you all are going to be making. So, like I said, start collecting your junk mail. And I'm going to be sending instruction sheets. And I'm going to be mailing a package. There's packages going to be coming to you guys. And then I'll probably do a little, our next video will be on assemblage, you know, actually picking out your pieces and getting them put together and, you know, how that whole process will work. And then our next video is going to be on prepping the pages. We're going to be using what's called gesso, which gesso is a primer. I don't know if you guys have used it before, but it's going to prime the paper so that things will adhere better to it and the paint will actually move better. After that, oops, I forgot the stitching. We'll probably stitch. I'm going to be sending a template on how to do the actual stitching. So on mine and my girlfriend's journal, these are actually stitched. I kind of forgot to show you that. But if you look here, can you see that on here? Maybe not on the... But there's some holes that were drilled, were stuck in through here, and then I ran like a twine through it. The twine's pretty thin. You can use ribbon, you can use yarn. The issue with that though is it's going to get really messy because you're going to be painting once it's assembled and you're going to be gluing on it, and so a thinner type of twine is going to probably serve you a lot better. If you want to go back later and add like a ribbon or something fancier, I can show you all how to do that on another step. So here's a stitching that's done, and is that it? Yeah, I only had one straight center stitch. Okay. And on my girlfriend's journal, Tracy's, did she have? She had 2 sets of stitching, just depending on how her papers came together. This one is stitched together here. You can see it here on this outside. I'm probably moving these too fast. It's right through the binding. We created a binding on this side, and then we created a binding on this side as well. And then the other sample that I showed you, the one that was machine sewn, there's 2 bindings that were done on this one. On this side and then on this side. And when you look on the inside, you've got these fold out pages here and folded pages here. So when we start to do the assembling, that'll be when we'll figure out where exactly do you put your stitching. And then we'll do some videos on how to actually do some stenciling. Stenciling is pretty cool. It's one of my favorite things. It actually opened up a whole new world. I'm not someone who really likes to take the time to learn how to draw. If you are someone who draws, that is so awesome. You can make that a major part of your journal. You don't have to do it the way that I did mine or will be demoing. If you want to make drawings and put that on there, fabulous. If you're somebody who likes writing, you know, your whole journal does not have to be filled with, you know, paint. You can do writing inside of it. That's totally cool. Magazine cutouts, if you're someone who likes to collage and you just want to find some magazine pictures, do it. Fabulous. There are not a lot of rules in this. Just enjoy the process is about the only rule that we have. And then just some basics on, you know, getting your stitching right. And other than that, it's just a pretty cool project. So I'm going to sign off for now. There's our intro for today. And I'll be back with you soon. Bye.